D&D 5e players that are checking out Pathfinder are going to see why many people advise starting at level 1, because you have a good deal of things to learn already in the rules, a lot of abilities, and your class will already have a whole suite of abilities that make your rogue feel like a rogue. You start with your ancestry first. You also get a heritage, which is kind of like what D&D would call a subrace. And in Pathfinder, there are versatile heritages that let you take on aspects of other ancestries. And one of them is to be part elf. It gives him low light vision and also unlocks the ancestry feats for elf, and for his first level ancestry feat, he's actually going to choose from the human list and take natural ambition, a human feat that gives you a bonus class feat. We now move on to what he gets from being a rogue. First, you get sneak attack. You get to do an extra 1d6 precision damage when you hit a foe that is off guard. There are many ways to make a foe off guard. Next is surprise attack. If you roll stealth or deception for initiative, every foe who has not acted yet is off guard to you. Next is subclass. He's going to choose to be a classic thief. The thief's advantage is that he gets to add his dexterity modifier to his damage with agile or finesse weapons. No other rogue and no other class can do this. Next is his class feat, but he gets 2 because of his natural ambition feat. Absurd will be a trap finder. He will get a bonus to finding traps and avoiding traps, but also if he's focused on something different in exploration, he will still get a free check to search for traps. His bonus feat will be tumble behind. In Pathfinder, you can try to go through an enemy space using your acrobatics skill, and when he does so, that enemy is off guard to his next attack. So it's a great way to set up that sexy sneak attack damage. He gets skills, and boy does he get a lot of skills. He got 2 from his background, and also being a rogue, he gets stealth for free, he gets thievery from his thief racket, and he gets 7 more skills plus his intelligence bonus of 2. So that means he has 13 skills at level 1. Rogues get a skill feat at every level in the game, including level 1. And so his skill feat is going to be Intimidating Glare. Other people need to talk and be understood by them to have a fair chance of making them scared, but Absurd can just look at them. Let's see how Absurd performs in a combat now. In Pathfinder, you get 3 actions, and moving up to your speed is an action. He's going to move up here into this spot and attack the ogre with his rapier. His rapier has an attack of +7, and the ogre has a 17 armor class. However, he has surprise attack, and the ogre has not acted yet, so the ogre is off guard and has only an AC of 15. Absurd strikes with his rapier. And he rolls an 18 and total 25, and that is 10 bigger than the ogre's armor class, so that's a critical hit in Pathfinder 2e. His damage is doubled, and he had sneak attack, so he actually gets to roll his rapier d6 and sneak attack d6, and that all doubles. But also, the rapier has the deadly d8 trait. That means that when you critically hit, after you double the damage, you add another d8 to the damage, so this is going to do a lot. 25 damage to the ogre warrior. And we're not done. He has 1 more action. He can attack with the same weapon multiple times. However, each subsequent attack will be less accurate, so his rapier only has a +2 bonus. However, his offhand weapon, the dagger, is a little weaker than a rapier, but it's an agile weapon. It has a smaller multiple attack bonus, and it's going to be more accurate. Right now, it has a +3. He's thinking of stabbing the ogre with the dagger, which is still off guard to him, but he doesn't want to do that. He's not in a safe position right now. What he's going to do is stride away. The ogre does not respond. Most enemies don't have opportunity attacks, and by making distance, the ogre now has to spend an action walking up to Absurd. The rules reward you for skirmishing in combat, basically, which any character can do in this game, but Absurd kind of has an incentive to do it more. It's only his first attack that's likely to crit after all. Absurd is next. What he's going to do is try to tumble through the ogre to use his tumble behind feat and make it off balance. He rolls acrobatics. He needs to beat a 16, and he succeeds. So it's now off guard to his next attack, and now he attacks with his rapier. And that is a hit, and that is going to do sneak attack damage. 12 damage to the ogre. He is a hero. He could do a killing blow with his dagger, but he's not that heroic. He's gonna walk around and go behind this rock. At higher levels, he'll have more options open up to him as he gets more abilities, but there are other things that have not happened yet that I'm going to demonstrate really quickly that any character can do, and which Absurd may want to do, because attacking 2-3 times isn't always good because you have that penalty to your accuracy. Basically, there are other ways for Absurd to make an enemy off guard to him. And he, more than anyone else, wants to set up an Alpha Strike because he can get that sneak attack damage if they're off guard, and with his Rapier, if he can get a critical hit, he gets that juicy, deadly D8 damage. Setting someone up to be off guard can turn a regular hit doing average 7.5 damage to a critical hit with his Rapier with sneak attack doing 26.5 damage. So what if the party delays and waits for the ogre to approach? Well, the ogre goes up and attacks the fighter and severely wounds him. Fighter jumps back in and goes to the opposite side of the ogre and makes an attack. This sets up a flank. If you're standing on opposite sides of a foe, that foe is off guard to your melee attacks. Absurd can walk up and make 2 attacks with his weapons, and he can score a sneak attack 2 times. Let's say the ogre started far away and spent her whole turn going up to here. He's been hiding, but he can't use surprise attack on her because she has acted already. He can sneak forward at half speed to a point of cover, let's say the corner of this wall, and attack from behind it. He'll have to roll stealth to stay hidden. Then she would be off guard to this attack. You have to have some cover or concealment, let's say dim light or darkness, and the ogre can't see well in that area. He can also hide behind cover if it's reasonable, at melee or from range, which makes him hidden and the ogre off guard. Also, Absurd has many skills, one of them being Deception. He can do the feint action against the ogre warrior to create an opening, making her off guard. Also, if he's at range or if he's in melee, he can create a diversion, say something distracting or point which way. It's not easy to pull off multiple times, however. Hiding and sneaking were skills. Feinting and creating a diversion were also skills using his charisma. Absurd's many talents are becoming useful. Also with his charisma, he can try to demoralize the ogre warrior and say something frightening. They don't share a language, however, so -4 penalty, but he has intimidating glare. He just needs to look at her and has a good chance of making her frightened. So I'll put a list up on the screen of all of the things Absurd can do at level 1. So where are we at with Absurd at level 1? There is no question that he is a rogue. He has been tumbling around the battlefield, skirmishing, going in and out, using his skills, positioning, distracting foes, tumbling through them to open up opportunities to get those nasty crits. He is a roguey rogue. And this was all at level 1, using the base rules only. Again, the free archetype rule variant only kicks in at level 2. His bread and butter rapier attack would have the same stats, and the other class feats that he could have taken would not have changed this either. Detractors of Pathfinder 2e will say, well, that means your choices don't matter. But I think I've shown that they do matter. So what your class feats do as the rogue, they don't improve your basic math, they give you ways to leverage different situations. So it's not a huge loss to forego a rogue class feat. Whereas in other systems, there are some clear choices that make you much more effective, do more damage. It's often said that in other systems you can win at character creation, but in Pathfinder 2e, arguably, and I think I've shown, when you make your character and advance it, level it up, your choices only begin. So that's it for now. So what will happen with Absurd when he advances in his wizardry studies and unlocks forbidden secrets and gets kicked out of wizardry school and has a religious awakening? If you haven't yet, support my Patreon. Of course, there are other exclusive videos on my Patreon, including me running Pathfinder for D&D YouTubers. Also, join my Discord, where we talk Pathfinder 2e and other gaming, and you can also play Pathfinder 2e with the drop-in organized play system that we have. So that's it. I have been Ronald the Rules Lawyer. I'll see you next time.